So what's up guys, I'm Black Ops Amazing, welcome back to, I can finally say it, a Black Ops 7 Zombies video, where the game has just been revealed to us, the campaign, the multiplayer, and zombies, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in today's video, everything that we know and everything that we were shown in the reveal about BO7 Zombies, and it looks like the leaks may very well be true. TRANZIT could be returning. I was totally unprepared for this. I didn't expect for them to reveal it so soon because we've had no marketing for the game. If you look at the past one, Black Ops 6, we had weeks of marketing through the Truth Lies leading up to the reveal trailer, whereas with Black Ops 7, we had nothing. It just came out of the blue. So it was a surprise, but a nice one, and to get zombies information so early on, even though it's only a tiny bit, it's always exciting if you're a zombies fan. So if you haven't already checked out the full trailer for BO7, then you can do so separately, but we're just going to be focusing on zombies, and along with the 2 or 3 second footage of BO7 zombies that you can see on screen now, over on the COD blog, Troyok said this, and I'm going to read all of this because it very well could link into zombies. We know that the campaign usually dictates the type of content that we get in zombies. For example, if the game takes place in 2035, then there's a chance a lot of the assets we see in the zombies mode will be from that year as well. If we're using futuristic guns, then we're also going to be using them in zombies. But on the COD blog, they said, in Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Treyarch and Raven Software are bringing players to the most mind-bending Black Ops ever. Developed as the next evolution of Black Ops, this is the first ever consecutive release within the series, set more than 40 years after the events of Black Ops 6. The year is 2035, and the world is on the brink of chaos, ravaged by violent conflict and psychological warfare following the events of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 6. Wielding cutting-edge technology, David Mason and his team must fight back against a manipulative enemy who weaponizes fear above all else. And then they say, the Black Ops universe is amazing, shout out to me, channel name. The creativity and imagination that goes into the storytelling, the rich character depth, and the incredible moment-to-moment gameplay across all modes is really exceptional. As a team, our vision from the start was to create a back-to-back series experience for our players that embraced the uniqueness of the Black Ops sub-franchise. And then they say, prepare to squad up with friends or play solo in a thrilling and innovative co-op campaign, harness the future weaponry in a signature multiplayer experience packed with brand new maps, and descend into the next twisted chapter of round-based zombies in the heart of the Dark Aether. So this confirms, as we've been told in leaks, Black Ops 7 Zombies is going to be taking place in the Dark Aether. All of the maps, well, I'm assuming all of them, at least the base ones, maybe in the DLC cycle, on say DLC 3 or 4, it could change, but as of right now, it sounds like all of the maps in Black Ops 7 Zombies are going to be taking place within the Dark Aether. And this is so interesting because if you look at the gameplay, you might notice it looks kind of familiar, right? Or at least there's one thing that really stands out, and that is this set of headlights right here. And well, if we didn't have the leaks to spoil it for us, we would theorize, hang on, is this the transit bus? And then you connect that to what we've just been told, all of the maps are taking place within the Dark Aether. Well, at the end of Black Ops 4, TRANZIT, that map was banished to the Dark Aether. It is in there right now. So it looks like, and we'll dive deeper into it, this is TRANZIT within the Dark Aether. Like I said, the clip's only a couple of seconds long. There's not too much we can get from it because it's so dark, but if we turn up the brightness and adjust the contrast on things, there's a couple of objects we can make out. First off, the zombies. This one right here looks like he's wearing a kind of trucker hat. I don't know how you describe it. I'll put a picture of one up on screen. It looks like it could be one of the zombies that we found in TRANZIT originally, because the models of the undead in the original game were unique. We had ones that were wearing nightgowns from the sanatorium nearby. We had zombies that were wearing, like I said, trucker outfits or work gear, engineer zombies. Because TRANZIT was a town in Hanford, Washington, the undead were people who lived and worked there for Broken Arrow. But still, because this is in the Dark Aether, that might not be necessarily too much to look into. We carry on though, we have some trees in the background. This giant, I don't know what you call these, kind of a windmill, is it? Some kind of wind device, which I have just gone into TRANZIT to try and see if I can find this, and I couldn't. It was only a brief look and there is fog everywhere, so maybe if I was using my detective skills a bit more, I could have found this. I don't know if it's in the original map, but this does look like something you would find in the farm area of that map. There is also another structure here which definitely isn't in TRANZIT, so I don't know what that would be. Bearing in mind, when everything was banished into the Dark Aether at the end of Black Ops 4, it all became mixed up and mashed together, different elements of different locations bonded. So there's nothing to say, okay, this wasn't in TRANZIT originally, but when it got sent to the Dark Aether, it ended up here. And then of course the big giveaway are the headlights, which look too big and bright for me to be a car, and knowing what we know, surely this has to be a bus. Is it the TRANZIT bus? And is Ted driving? And that's all I could really take from the trailer. I mean, there is a fence in the background. It does kind of look like there's rain as well, which is weird because this is the Dark Aether. You can kind of see that Dark Aether skybox as well with lightning and that purple bluish effect. But yeah, wow, I honestly didn't expect anything from Zombies so soon. And just going to those leaks, we were told the Zombies mode will have the original crew return as multiverse variations. Now, this is interesting because if we were playing inside the Dark Aether in BO7, then that could work. Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey, their dead bodies, the Ultimus and Primus versions, at the end of Tag were banished into the Dark Aether, or at least they should have been. They weren't alive, but maybe, and of course Treyarch can rewrite the story however they want, but when they were banished to the Dark Aether, could they have been reanimated as zombies and then they somehow get brought back? Or could they have been sent to the Dark Aether and somehow gained new souls? I don't know how Treyarch are going to do this, how they're going to reintroduce Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey into the story, but apparently we'll be playing as them in this transit map. BO7 Zombies will also have a difficulty toggle, a wonder vehicle, could this here be the wonder vehicle? I don't know, and a more story focused role as well. And I think considering this very well could be Transit, we're seeing evidence of that already. Treyarch are focusing more on the storyline this time around and building maps around that, or in this case, recreating maps around that. And also said the Zombies mode will feature the largest round-based map ever. Could this be it? Because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong in saying, the largest one we have just gotten in BO6, which was Terminus. So if this Transit remake or remaster does end up being the largest, then that would mean Treyarch would have to change or at least add some things onto it. And as you can see with this windmill in the background and this tall structure, which I'm pretty sure weren't in the original version of Transit, that tells us it's Transit but remastered. And to be honest, that's always what Treyarch wanted to do. We were told years and years ago, I think by Jason Blundell, that Treyarch had huge plans for the Transit map, but because of the hardware at the time on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 and the limitations of memory, they just couldn't achieve what they had planned. So what if this time around, now we're on the newer generation of consoles and they've got much more freedom and room, they've finally been able to make Transit the way they always intended. Hopefully that means a little bit less fog and less denizens and less lava, but if you didn't like Transit the first time around, there's all the chance that it's not going to be the exact same as the original. There will be new areas and new detail. Maybe the annoying features like the fog will be removed or just phase in and out of the map. Treyarch have a huge opportunity here to improve it and actually make it a good map. And for those of you who haven't seen yet, we were given a full description from someone called Insider Gaming, where he basically told us everything we know about the BO7 story so far. I'll just go over that now we have this new teaser. It read, Dempsey, Takeo, Richtof and Nikolai were all said to be featured in Black Ops 7. This was from people who did a playtest on the game. One eagle-eyed Zombies fan stated that a version of the characters were not Ultimus and that the characters looked older than Primus, meaning it wasn't the Primus characters, it wasn't the Ultimus characters, it was a different version of Richtof and Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey that we haven't seen yet. According to the same sources, the Zombies storyline will evolve around a new enemy character who wants to absorb the Dark Aether essence of the original 4 characters and bring back the old multiverse. So that's the story for BO7 if this is true, and this next part pretty much confirms they were right. Sources also corroborated the recent Zombies leak, that the main Zombies map will be Transit inspired, with some form of travel system to navigate around the map. So that actually says there, this map isn't Transit, but it's Transit inspired. And maybe that's the case. Maybe this isn't Transit directly, but it takes some of the features such as the bus system and it being a large map with different areas. So it's inspired by it, but it's not the exact same Transit layout. They also said Black Ops 7 Zombies will have 6 maps in total throughout its life cycle. And of course, a lot of this is due to change because it was so early on. But yeah, to be honest, just going back to the teaser trailer, to even get this, even though it's short, I think it's something we needed because BO6 Zombies is not in a great state right now. And although they haven't said, I hope it's not too long until we hear more information about it. We normally get trailers, I think, in August. I mean, proper trailers with a little bit of gameplay footage, but maybe we'll get teasers and marketing for it leading up to that. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. BO7 Zombies. Drop a like rating if you're excited. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel to stay up to date with the latest content, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.